All right, hello Chipola Nation. We are here with new head coach Brendan Foley of the Chipola Indians, and we're here in the Milt where all the magic is going to happen in just a few months.
Yes, sir.
Coach, we're in the off season, so there's not a whole lot of serious game stuff to talk about. So I thought it'd be interesting to get the fans to just know you a little better. So I'm gonna ask you some questions about your coaching philosophy and stuff, so that they can just find out a little bit about who you are. First of all, you've got two new assistants. Is
Yep.
that right?
Yes, I do.
Tell us who those guys are and a little something about them.
I hired Denon Morrow, who was at Daytona State last year. Previous to that, he was at Barton County Community College in Kansas. He's a guy that I've known for a while, a guy that I've respected. He's worked at Kansas State University as a grad assistant. That's where I did my grad
Right.
assistant at, and just a guy that's I thought I could bring in. I wouldn't have to groom. He could take some stuff off my plate, and I wouldn't have to train. He'd hit the ground running, and he's been doing great. We're excited to have him. And then we hired Tim Pete. Tim just finished his grad assistant at UNC Greensboro.
Cool.
He played at the University of Tulsa for Doug Wojcik and Danny Manning. Tim's a native of Memphis, so I'm excited about both of them. They're going to
Okay.
be really good.
Awesome. Now I want to follow up on that. What role do you see your assistants playing in your program?
They're a vital part. I'm only as good as my assistant coaches. They are around the players more than I am. So they're vital. They're key. They're around them at the dorms, checking classes, all that. So
Right.
they're with them on a day basis through the day more so than I am.
Okay.
And then obviously when I see them at practice and,
Right.
and stuff. But they're critical to have good assistants.
Well, it sounds like you made a couple of good choices. I want to ask you about your players. I know that in the press conference when we announced that you were the new coach, that you were interested in the character of these young men, in
Right.
putting a good group on the court, but also you're interested in how these guys behave on campus and in the community.
Absolutely.
What are some ideas? What are some things that you want to do to get your players involved in the community?
Anything and everything. This community embraces Chipola so much, and I'd love to give back to them. And it starts with our guys. We need to get them in front of the schools, reading to kids, and get the kids to come to our games. Any other community outreach programs I'd like to get our guys involved in, and just show their faces as much as possible in the community, because this community does look at our kids in a different light, and they are held to a higher standard than most kids. So,
Yeah.
when you get our kids in front of those little kids, they enjoy it,
Yeah.
and it's fun for them.
Yeah, there's nothing like seeing a 6'10" basketball player
Right.
with a bunch of first graders.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yep.
it's absolutely magic. I want to talk about some of the coaches, teachers who have had a great influence on your life. I know you've been around some of the greats in coaching. So tell us about some of those people and what they did for you.
Definitely. I think in my press conference I mentioned my dad. It started with him just putting a basketball in my hands, teaching me the value of hard work. So he's been a guy that's been a role model in my life. And then the guys that got me in this, that gave me a chance. Obviously, Coach Huggins. I talk to him to this day. He's a mentor to me. Andy Kennedy, who was recently the coach at Ole Miss, he's gave me a chance in this. And then Frank Martin at South Carolina. Those guys are three guys that I respect, and they're all from the same coaching tree, and they gave me my first chance in this business. And then just along the way, having to work for Chris Morey at Santa Fe, Patrick Blake and Brett Campbell, you take stuff from everyone and learn.
Right.
And I wouldn't be here today without them giving
Yeah.
me an opportunity to be their assistant coach.
Right. So are you telling me that you can call Huggy Bear up on the phone and he'll answer the phone?
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Golly. You might have to call him in the middle of a game sometime, for that last second play or something.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right. That's great, Coach. I want to ask you about in your previous experiences. I know you've been a top assistant for a long time. What are some things in your previous jobs and in your jobs here? What are some experiences that you've had that really taught you some valuable lessons?
I think, three key values. Hard work, number one. Just stay true to yourself, work hard, treat other people right. Treat other people the way you'd want to be treated, which is a pretty simple thing, but
Right.
it goes a long way. And then the third thing would be just stay humble. You never know when your opportunity is going to come, and just if you stay true to those things, I think good things will happen.
Right. Okay. Wonderful stuff from Coach Brendan Foley here. Again, I said we are here in the Milt. We're expecting some great houses in here. You know, this is an electric environment.
Yeah.
I think it's. Would you say, and you know, I don't want you to brag about your own program, but would you say this is probably the best place to play in the Panhandle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
I mean, I think it is.
Definitely. Yeah, we get, like I said, we get great community support. Our fans come out, and this is the biggest ticket in town.
Right.
Especially come Panhandle play.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it.
All right. So, again, we'll be starting in early November.
Yep.
So you'll be getting kids in through the rest of the summer and doing a lot of work, getting prepared to put that great product on the floor. So
Yep.
we look
We're
forward to it,
excited.
Coach. Have a good summer.